Happy times. So, but when the video is finished uploading, it will be stereo. Still, it's nice to be here. I don't know how long this will last, and if things will break or die or do anything untoward, one can never tell. But until they don't, we're just going to do a thing and see what happens. So, I was asked to do a sort of playthrough of my favorite Omnisphere patches, which, as I say, you'll hear in mono initially, unless you're listening to this after the fact, in which case, hello stereo. And the first patch, and the first, well, I haven't even got Banks favorited it. I've just loaded it and switched to the first patch, is called something very weird. A0 Vocal Noise Sweep. But I have a fair few patches favorited on this sphere, but not enough. So when I get to the end of my favorites, which is actually one of the LA custom patches, because Omnisphere and Keyscape play nicely together, then I'm going to turn off favorites and we're just going to go through quickly and see what happens. So it should be fun. I'm going to also try and read the chat, but I can't promise anything because sometimes strange things happen and it doesn't always work well. However, that's the first sound. The second sound is called a major gramophone. And it does that. And the reason I like patches like these is because I can use them in my ongoing project of very short tracks, 5 seconds to a minute and change. And things like this make great either throughout or intro patches. By the way, I don't know if it's using the right camera, so if anybody wants to let me know, that'll be good. I'd like to think it is, but you can just never tell with this thing. It's not the nicest interface to use YouTube Live on iPhone, but it is at least usable. Abandoned One, another great patch. Quite big sounding, isn't it? What does the mod wheel do? Brings in a whole different kind of feel. Next, Abracadabra Crescendo. Omnisphere is good at many things, but one of the things it's exceptionally good at are its ARPs. It is quite incredible with these things. And things like that show the power of it. It's quite a phenomenal bit of kit. Here's another sound called Absolute Concentration. It's another ARPy thing which I quite like. Very soft. What's the mod will do? Kind of brings the sound alive a little bit more. It's quite interesting. If you don't know much about Omnisphere, it's a product made by Spectrasonics, and it contains a great deal of patches. I think 5,000 or 6,000, maybe even more by now. It's huge. Everything about it is just massive. And it does what it does very well indeed. You will have heard it in things and not known it was Omnisphere. Omnisphere is quite unusual in that it gets used in lots of unusual places. And some of those unusual places are in mainstream music that you will listen to and like. Sounds like this, for example. This is called Absorbing Piano Taps. I'm going to turn the mic down when I play this one because it's got an interesting characteristic, And it's very good for sort of sad, filmy things. So I'll do something in A minor. And when you hear the reverb kick in, it's because I set the mod wheel to maximum. So without the mod wheel, this is the sound. That is one of the... Oops, wrong mic. That's one of those sounds I could literally play for hours. I think it's phenomenal, and I really like it, and I hope that you do too. I'm going to see if I can see the chat here, if anybody's writing anything or... Okay, there are no messages there, but if you want to chat, then I should be able to see it. I opened up the chat screen on YouTube, so with luck, it'll work and do what it's supposed to do. Accelerator. It's a very cool sound because when you let go, it sort of delays off into nothingness. So here the sound is, and I release the sound. So you can use that as sort of a good fade-in sound. Very, very cool, very intronic, which is a word I've just come up with now. And that's what the mod wheel does. That's fun. I do like that. Acid Rain is the next preset in my favorites list. And we are skipping through tons of these, by the way, just because if I were to take you through all of them, we'd be here for as long as Liam Irving was streaming the other day, for 12 hours. Or was it 16 in the end? It was a long time. And my phone's battery isn't going to last that long. Nor will my body. Haha. A chromatic depth. Good sound, I like that too. Across the Sky, another beautiful pad here. It's very ethereal. There's your mod wheel. That's cool because it just sort of goes on for ages and ages. Active grains of picked glass. When you hear this eventually in stereo, if you do, it's phenomenal. In mono, I can only imagine how boring it is. By the way, you'll probably know this already if it happens because you're watching later on in the stream, but if the thing cuts at the end for no reason, then my phone likes to do that lately. I think this version of the YouTube app and my phone don't get along. So sometimes it just stops streaming and ends the video prematurely, which is very rude of it. And I'm trying to find an alternative camera at the moment, but funds are low and that is just not happening at this moment. So these are Adagio Espressivo strings. brightness that we heard was controlled by the mod wheel, by the way. Great big sound, that, and as you can tell, it's one of those I could happily play for a very long time. So yeah, let's see now. Adagio Ferissimo, that's nice. Lovely pads in here, says Tor. Hello Tor from Sweden, how are you doing? Yeah, this is lovely because this is like a combination of the previous string sound and swooshy things. So I play like an A. I'm actually going to hold this pad down and going to go tweet on my other account. So you're going to just have to deal with this A for a little while. So stand by. Here's an A. It's a strange type of A, but it is an A. Right, now we can play again. What's the mod wheel do? Oh, it brings all the rainy bits up. Oh, that's fun, isn't it? That's joy. 13 minutes we've been going live, and I know that my phone usually cuts out between 15 and 25 minutes. So, as I say, if the stream drops out, I do apologize. I'm expecting it to happen, though, so at least you've been warned. So at least you get 10, 20 minutes of this stream before things may fall off. I mean, there's been an update to the YouTube app since this last happened, so it might have been fixed. I just don't have any hope. And also, the weather in the country is not helping at the moment. It's very, very hot at the moment. Let's ask Google for the weather. I'm going to turn down my mic so that yours don't trigger.
Currently in London, it's 19 degrees and mostly sunny. Today, it'll be mostly cloudy, with a forecast high of 24 and a low of 15.
Yeah. And when I've been doing streams lately, it's been at the upper end of that. And, well, you know, CPUs and phones, and they all get hot, and then bad things happen. So you have to be careful. Aerophonic transmission. Some crazy cool sounds in here, and I love it because every time I go through this this library, I mean, it's true with a lot of libraries I have, and I do have a ridiculous amount of libraries now. But anytime I go through these, I keep finding new things to favorite. Because you just can't go through all of these libraries when you've got several thousand sounds in one library. There was a time when a keyboard itself had 1,000 if you were lucky, usually 768 or 512 or something. So when you come across something like this, it's mind-blowing. And that's called Air Blaster. Mod wheel does that, makes it sharper. But when you hold the key down, that was just when I play a key very quick. When I hold the key down, it does this. It gets a whole heap of low end, and it's very nice. Fascinating little thing. Right. Elias Drone Bloom. Some of these sounds are very loud, by the way. I think some of them are right on the 0 dB mark. So if you play more than one key at once, you are going to clip out your system. So be mindful of that. This is one of those. This Alias Drone Bloom is very loud. Oh, that's cool. The model just takes it down an entire octave. That's fun. That's great fun. Loft low. A loft low. Nice, it crossfades between two different sounds when I do that. So here's an F major with the mod wheel down. And here's the same F major with the mod wheel at maximum. So as you hear it crossfades between the two sounds, and you can have it in the middle somewhere, and get a combination of the two, which seems to be sort of a fifth or a fourth apart. It's an unusual sound. I like it. It's good for your sort of diminished augmented chords there, because you can crossfade between the two. If I play like a low C and I'm playing C, E flat, F sharp and A, and then I'll move the mod wheel. And that happens. So, quite fascinating stuff. Right. This one is called Aluminium Dreamer, or Aluminum if you're in the US. Another ARP. These are just tracks within themselves. You don't even need to really work at these. Fascinating things. Yes. What do your mod wheel do? Oh, it takes away some of the bottom end. Well, no, really not bottom end, middle actually. Amalgamate. Now that is cool in stereo, gotta be said. Very nice and big. Amazonia Sunrise. That's cool. I like that a lot. Again, a whole track within itself. Really nice. It's amazing just how many sounds you can simply build a track with without trying. And this is Amazonia Sunset. As you can tell, it's based on a similar principle. But the birds are asleep now. And look, if I play just one note, I'll play a C. That's just one note. Literally, I'm just holding down one note. It's doing all of the above. It's quite something. Ambient space piano. Let me turn my mic down for this and play, because you'll enjoy this one. This is very nice. So as you might be able to tell, the difference between the piano with the mod wheel down and the mod wheel up is quite different. So here is an F major 7 with the mod wheel down, and I'll move the mod wheel up as we go. It kind of octavizes. So it's quite cool. By the way, you are welcome to message me on Twitter if you are messaging me or posting on the chat and I'm not seeing it. Because this patch is called an abysmal failure, and sometimes my ability to see messages or be able to read them is an accessibility nightmare or an abysmal failure. That's fun. A limbionic builder. Again with the Omnisphere ARP engine, which is really quite special. Analog echo droplets. That's cool. Interestingly enough, with this one, when you take the mod wheel up to the maximum, that underlying sound here goes away. See? Now the mod wheel's at maximum. Bring it back. Strange sound, but interesting. Ancient Extinction. If you are liking these sounds, please do press the like button so that I can do more live streams of plugins that I like. Because it's kind of different doing a live stream than an inspired by sound video. Just to vary it up a little, you know? Keeps life interesting, shall we say. Angry Dreamer, by the way. The thing about a lot of these sounds is that they make you want to play, so that's nice. Sometimes you get sounds that just don't. And now we get into some of the old Roland favorites. If anyone ever used any of the Roland SRX boards, particularly SRX6 or the JV, SRJV boards, I don't remember the numbers, then they licensed some of their sounds from Spectrasonics, like this one. Lots of old Roland noises. Well, technically not old Roland noises, Spectrasonics noises, but yeah, there's a few of these favorited. Yes, you'll have heard those a lot. Now this is JD800 Crystal Dream something. What's that? JD800 Crystal, read it to me. Crystal Dream Face. It's a nice old Rhodes sound, full of reverb and joy, and fun to play. A bit like the other video I did recently on the FM8 Rhodes, which was a DX7 model. But this is coated in reverb and some nice chorus and a bit of flanginess. So have a listen to this. Notably in this, the mod build does nothing to change the sound that I can tell. That's not the end of the world, it's just an observation. But yeah. Then we have JD800 Crystal Roads, which is part of Keyscape. And because I have Omnisphere and Keyscape together, we have Keyscape Creative plus Keyscape plus Omnisphere all in the same place. So it's actually quite convenient. Good sound to play just for fun. It's very harsh, but I mean it can do soft things as well. It's nice, you know. It's good old sound. One of the old greats. So yeah. So let me just let people know for the 2 minutes that this thing will still work. Like that. Right then. That's a big sound. Jet gulls. Huh, I didn't even remember favoriting that. That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah. Jet wine. I can't even remember all of the types of sounds that Omnisphere has in terms of synth engines. I think it can do FM. I think it does a whole lot of other things. JP Sec Bells. So JP would be the Roland JP, I suppose. What's going on there? JP Vibrazine Bells. Strange old noise. Now we get a bass. Juicy Wave Shaper lead. Actually, it's a lead. Works as a bass as well. Juicy fruit. Now this is a lead or a bass. I like this sound. Have a listen to this. It's good sound, that. The mod wheel is very verbose. It is. It's a very good sound. Yeah, I like that. Junk drive exhaust port. Yeah. That's good for a trailer. If you want a noise for a trailer, that's the one. Something like that would be great for a trailer, wouldn't it? Jupiter bells. Oh, nice. That up is cool because it actually goes up and down in both directions. Very cool. And when you finally hear this is stereo, it moves the sound around a bit, which is rather nice of it. Another trailer noise called Just a Friendly Reminder, Hit 1. Great trailer noise, that. You know, I'm going to find so many uses for sounds like these, don't you? You just know it. That's the kind of noise you'd hear in something. It's got all kinds of cool scrapes in it, all bits and pieces. I've also got Hit 3 favorited. I like that as well. Definitely like that one. And then this. This is the sound I was playing yesterday for about 45 minutes. Now, if I get stuck on here, you'll have to nudge me. I'm going to play this with the mic down again. This is called Just a Simple Dreamy Piano again, I think. And this is a sound that was just very captivating. This and a sound close by to here. So I'm going to turn the mic down again and just do a little playing and see what you make of this. Because, yeah, this is beautiful. So that's the kind of dreamy piano thing. I like that too. So let me have that sound, which is rather interesting. Kaleidoscope Eyes. That's a one-trick wonder again. So I just play the C, and if I don't do anything else with the sustain pedal down, it repeats that. So that's cool. Kalimba Steam, another cool sound. making use of the Omnisphere ARP engine again. So you can play all kinds of wacky chords on this thing and just watch what happens. I mean, I'm tempted to just put a beat underneath that and call it a day. Kendra Drone. Yes. Kendra Drone. Another sound I got stuck on yesterday. Keys of Serenity. Well, with a name like that, it's hard not to, isn't it? It has all these lovely after effects too. So like that chord I'm holding is just hanging in on there and doing what it does. It's lovely. It's just moving from side to side very slowly. Not that you can tell, but I can. Kill switch and chill, apparently. This is a very long sound. If I play a G, it stays around for a while. It's quite a long sound. Then we get into the LA Custom pianos. So this is part of Keyscape and not necessarily Omnisphere, but because the patches are integrated and intertwined, you do get this as well. So this is usually the patch I do play when I'm playing Keyscape, and since it's kind of the same beast, I will play you a bit of this piano, even though there's a video about it already, the Yamaha C7 Grand, which I did a few months ago in the Inspired by Sound series, but still it's a nice piano, I think, and it has its place in my piano collection. So there's that. There are also variants of this piano as well in the form of my next favorite, which is just the LA Custom C7 Mellow. It's the same kind of sound as the ballad, but slightly different tonality. So yeah, that we've come to the end of my favorites actually, because even though we're just in the L series, the L's, and this goes all the way to Z, of course, it's a huge product. I mean, absolutely massive. If I turn off favorites now, hold on, I'll do that. Right, there we go, favorites are now off. Let me just get through the... Now we get to things I don't know about, like Labyrinth for the Brain. And that's the first sound after the LA Custom, that's LAB. Because the other one is LA Custom, so it was LA Space. So that's the first sound that we come to after that. And now we're just going to press plus and see where we end up. I'm very surprised, although I've jinxed it now, that the phone isn't dead, touch wood, yet. And it's been going for 47 odd minutes and the video is still live. Really surprised about this. It's nice to be surprised occasionally. Now, of course, I've said that it's just going to crash and burn, take the stream with it. But I'll be favoriting this sound. So now we're not in known territory. We're going to explore together. So as I go through and keep pressing plus quickly, and you'll be like, why didn't you favorite that one? It's because it just didn't appeal to me at that time. But you know what? With plugins like these, you'll go back through them and surprise yourself occasionally. And I do that because you can never be satisfied with one go round, especially when you have thousands of sounds. Sometimes it's just too difficult to get favorites in your first go. So yeah, Lamenting Whale's Texture. I mean, I think I got this around Christmas last year, but even so, I had to change the presets I was using a few times because they got upgraded, and when that happened I lost all of the favorites I did have. So it's quite possible I had a lot of these already, but not aware of it. So literally, you and I, watching and live, we're going to discover these sounds together, which is the joy of it. Because yeah, I can do videos and, you know, it's all just stuff I know about. But what about when you're discovering together, like we did in Haunted Spaces? Because I didn't know what was going to happen when I did that video at all. I had no idea. It's an odd sound. The radio. Huh. Interesting. Oh, look, radio, I suppose, because it's still L's. And be like, how do we jump from L to T? Yes, there are indeed. That's scary. Largo Peasant 1. Ah, one bass note. That's what the mod wheel does. We'll favorite that. You never know when you need something like that, do you? A lot of fun to be had with these sort of things. Last planet on the tour. What a great name for a patch. They do have some quite innovative patch names. Wow. I don't know what anybody's thinking. I'm not seeing much come up in the chat, but if you have any questions or comments, then let me know them so that I can answer them to the best of my ability. Because I will do my best, you know. Latitude North 1, I like that. Now I'm curious to record it and see what it sounds like when you reverse it, since it's reversed. Curious to know what that does. Great noises. Yeah. I'll favourite that one as well. Why not? Going down the list and down the list. Laughing trombones. That's great. Laundromat. Okay then. Lava flow. Yes, so I like lava flow. We like that. We could start a whole new piece just on noises from this thing. But what it doesn't have is drums. As far as I'm aware, Omnisphere just doesn't do drums. So they've made all of these. Oh, they have like very, very few drums, but nothing really massive. Well, we know where that idea comes from, don't we? It's very EDM. Gotta have some of those. Strange business. La Patronica. Very ambient. Leagues, yeah. We like that. Strange pads and all kinds of madness here. Wow. That sounds like a sound that you don't want to hear late at night. Leap of faith. Yeah, I like it. Not a good idea. Just not a good idea. Or that. Leeches 1. Ha. Just going down now. Trying to find the next best thing. That's wrong. Yeah, that's what that is. That's wrong. Licking chops for the curious. This is kind of what makes Omnisphere stand out from the others, just in its difference. It's not all samey kind of sounds, you know. There's a lot of stuff that is samey, but there's a lot that isn't. And you get stuff like licking chops that just jumps out at you for no reason. You're like, why did you include that? Because we could. And yeah, they did. So they did. Light of the Night. It has some quite good vocal stuff in it, though. Although I don't think we're going to get there, because we're still in the L's, and it's going to take a long time to get down to the V's. And I need a drink soon, so I'll probably end this stream in a bit. But I hope you've enjoyed. Well, it's 56 minutes and 33 seconds, so maybe if I end it in sort of 4 minutes roughly, that'll be good. Little combo organ 1, eh? Cute. Pads. Who doesn't like pads, eh? Liquid Anklungs, yeah, I like that. And I like that too. That's quite gentle. I downloaded the other day, by the way, a typewriter from Waves Factory, and Waves Factory is another manufacturer of cool sounds. And I will probably make a track using the typewriter at some point. It's a free Contact plugin, and it's very weird. Liquid Electro Drops. That's fun. See what I mean about being out there? They just don't do normal Omnisphere. I like that fact. Because you can get a lot of everyday normal sounds, you know? But then you get weird things, and that's kind of where the joy is for me. Mad sounds that you just would not expect to hear in plugins. Liquid Nitrogen 6. Yeah, I'll favorite that. When I do some weird ambient electronic things. Wow. 58 minutes, 48 seconds. Heading towards our hour here. And I haven't even gotten to the M's. Still in the light and breezy keys. Yeah, we'll favorite that. That's a nice thing. Fun. Oh no, coming down to the last 20 seconds of the stream, guys. Can you believe it? But you guys have been quite quiet on the old chat, so 46 seconds. I mean, I appreciate that you were here in the first place. It was unannounced live stream, and well, that happens. 54 seconds. So I will say my goodbyes and thank you for watching.